Welcome to What the Health with Josh and Kim, where we answer your most pressing questions about your health.
With 40 years combined experience in health and wellness and fitness and nutrition, we hope to bring you valuable information you can use daily to become your healthiest self. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of What the Health. I have had lots of women come to me when they're clients of mine and are very concerned and embarrassed about peeing their pants a little bit when they jump or laugh or cough or, heaven forbid, sneeze. And they are always asking, what the health is up with that? Yeah. So we were going to address this today.
And I'm asking, what the health is up with you making me do this episode?
Well, you know, we're going to tackle some men issues as well that you'll get me back on, I'm sure.
Okay, fine.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so let's.
I may veto. I have seniority veto power.
Yeah, because you know how compromise works between a man and a woman.
I do. I'm very good at it.
Yeah.
There is no such thing.
Correct.
It's like what's his is mine and what's mine is mine.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, you know. Okay. So I do. This is really not a laughing matter, hardy har, but seriously, I have most women who come work out with me at some point, usually in the middle of their second session, come to me red-faced, embarrassed, and shameful. Actually, they feel shame about it, that they pee their pants a little bit, and they have suffered with that for years, and it's usually because they've had a baby, and they just they have to tell me because they don't want to pee their pants during a session because I have them doing jumping jacks or something. And they wait for a long time to tell me until they absolutely have to. And they always think they're going to be the only one. And they're never the only one. I have tons, almost, I would say probably 95% of women have this issue.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. It plagues women, I think, more than men probably.
Yeah, and I can definitely agree with that. So I guess speaking about this particular topic, one thing to note is that collectively this all falls under incontinence, and definitely not something you should be ashamed of because it does affect so many people. You know, it's definitely one of those things that it's embarrassing that it happens to you, but you know it happens to so many people. You know, so how do we fix it? I think that's the main question today. So before we actually get into that, though, there are essentially two different forms of incontinence, just to cover really quickly, and then we can kind of get into how to treat them. We have one, which is overactive bladder, where you actually have the muscles in your bladder that actually contract and they, you know, force a little liquid out, I guess is the best way you can say that. And then you have like, you know, physical manifestations of physical changes to your body, such as like pregnancy and those types of things, which are called stress incontinence. So now that we know kind of the ones that we have, so what are some of the things that we can do to help with not doing that?
Yeah, and I think changes in the body, you know, pregnancy, childbirth, obesity is one. I think we need to say chronic constipation, which we're going to address that in another episode. Heavy lifting, that whether you have manual labor job or you're exercising and powerlifting in the gym or something, or sitting for extremely long periods of time. Those are all the common causes for at least the women who come to me. These are young women typically. The older women, I think, are like you, just have loss of control of their bladder. Older men and women, that's usually typically a older generation issue. And these are women who've given birth within the last, you know, year to 10 years. Some women, once they've given birth to one child, have this for decades. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, but it is weak intrinsic core muscles. Now, core encompasses several different muscles, but the intrinsic core specifically are 4 different muscles. Do you know what those are, Josh, off the top of your head?
I mean, I can name one, but I'll let you go ahead and take it. I know we have, you know, the pelvic floor muscles. I know those are extremely important in, you know, maintaining you know, bladder control and just kind of function there. But, you know, one thing I wanted to add to that, since you were kind of mentioning we're talking about physical changes, pregnancy, and then being obese. Those are all things, or working out and all that. Potentially incorrectly, those are all things that stress your body and stretch it in ways that it's not normally used to, which can definitely lead towards weak core muscles. So it's not always that you're not working out. Sometimes it's just that you're going through physical changes that make those muscles weaker or that stretch them.
Right. And there's lots of ways that you can address that, and there's lots of reasons why that happens. But I think sometimes knowing why it happens is great, but again, knowing what muscles you're really targeting. So your intrinsic core is your diaphragm, the transverse abdominis, multifidus, and then, like you said, the pelvic floor. And the pelvic floor is our key muscle group that we're going to talk about today. And that's probably the most important one as far as dealing with the effects of childbirth and pregnancy, and some maybe injuries to the pelvic lining, and all those other kind of things that we've already kind of talked about. So we're going to discuss how to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles, because a weak pelvic floor, for whatever reason it's weak, it's irrelevant at this point, it just is, right? Okay. Can be fixed. If it's weak, then you can strengthen it. And if you strengthen it, you solve your problem, which I love that. I'm so solution based. So are
Yeah,
you. I know that.
definitely.
Yeah. So with that being said, as far as strengthening exercises, there are several that you can do. They're not hard to do, but they're challenging to the body, because anytime you're trying to strengthen a weak muscle, it's going to take a lot of effort. You're going to have fatigue, and you're trying to essentially not just build strength, but build strength endurance. And what I mean by strength endurance is the ability to either hold a contraction or repetitively contract a muscle for an extended period of time. That's very, very important, obviously, especially if you need to control your bladder and things like that. So, some of the most common exercises that you can do to strengthen the pelvic floor are the bridge, bird dog. There's one called dead bug, and then there's one called hip tilts. So some of the exercises that you would think would help do that, like abdominal crunches, planks, may actually exacerbate and make the condition worse, because they're not targeting those pelvic floor muscles, the ones that line the pelvis. So I will say that hiring a professional to help you do those correctly is key. You can do them at home. You can Google them and probably find an example of those on YouTube. But to actually have someone standing there helping guide you through those exercises will really make sure that you're making the improvements and completely heal yourself from peeing your pants when you jump up and down.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Yeah. But, to start at home, Google those exercises, bridge, bird dog, dead bug, and hip tilts, and see if those will help you a little bit.
There you go. Yeah. So, those are all physical exercises that you can do to help with, incontinence. However, we did talk about two different kinds. That's going to help with overactive bladder for sure. And it's going to help with the stress incontinence as well. But, because the reason why they call it stress incontinence is because not only are you having these physical changes, but you're also actually stressed. So there are several studies that show how massage and other, stress relieving activities can actually help reduce your stress levels, thereby, helping you control your stress incontinence. So honestly,
Okay, like what? You're going to have to explain that one a little bit better than that to me.
wait, what? so, so I'm just saying, you can get massages. The idea is that, you're like, physically, mentally stressed.
Okay.
And, it's physically manifesting as stress incontinence. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
basically on top of all the things that you stress about, you can actually essentially give yourself incontinence because of how stressed you are. So
So
sometimes,
what you're saying, what I'm hearing as a woman is that pregnancy and childbirth are stressful,
yeah, definitely.
mentally as well as physically.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. So, and,
Yeah.
and the point I'm saying is, on top of all the exercises, I think
Yeah.
that it's really good for you to, do yoga and get massages and, do things that lower your stress levels. Because sometimes that'll be it. That'll be what fixes it. But as long as you're maintaining a balance of doing all of them, then,
Yeah.
you can really keep all of these, slight peeing issues at bay.
Yeah. And I think, what we really need to reiterate here is that you are not the alone. You're not the only one. There are lots of women who suffer from this. I hear it all the time. And not that it makes it any better when it's you suffering from it, but jumping on the trampoline, doing jumping jacks, running down the street, laughing, whatever makes you pee your pants some. It's embarrassing, and then again, like Josh said, it causes kind of this vicious cycle. You're stressed out because you're worried you might pee your pants, right? And then you pee your pants because you're kind of stressed out or whatever. And so it's just like, ugh. But if you can strengthen those intrinsic core, the pelvic floor muscles specifically, that is going to greatly help you control your bladder better, reduce your mental stress, and then the massage can help get rid of and process all the toxins that the stress causes out of your body. So I think that's, I don't know. To me, that's hopeful and encouraging. I don't personally suffer from this problem.
Yeah.
Although I will say this, I have laughed till I peed my pants and cried.
Yeah.
And I will say that my brother got a trampoline for his kiddos, and I have not jumped on a trampoline in, I don't know, since I was a kid, decades. And I did jump on the trampoline with them, and it did make me pee my pants just a little bit. I had to kind of focus and control.
Yeah. So
So I did go home and do these exercises. So what I'm saying by that, and I have not been pregnant and had children, or any of these other issues. So it's just something that I think we take for granted and that we don't continually work on. And if you don't use it, you lose it, kind of a thing. So the more you sit, the more relaxed you let your core be. And when you leave the air, it naturally contracts as a defense mechanism. And then when you are focused and, exercising, it helps strengthen and keep those muscles strong. So it's important just to take care of your body and
yeah,
think about those things. Don't let it become a problem out of hand. There is a solution.
correct. And when it comes to, peeing your pants, I say it depends. No, I'm just kidding.
You're so witty.
Just kidding. Well, okay. I know that we kind of made it sound like this only affects women, but it does affect men too, which I don't think that we kind of said too much about. And since I'm the guy here, I guess I'll go ahead and point that out.
Yeah, you
No,
should.
men will be affected, if they have anything wrong with their prostate, whether
Yeah.
that's enlarged or cancer, any of those types of things. Obviously, pelvic surgery affects both genders. And, if they're receiving treatment for cancers like radiation treatment, those are definitely all things that affect men in addition to women.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously men can't get pregnant and all of those other things, but, we can definitely still, be victims of incontinence.
What are your thoughts on like hip replacement surgery?
I mean, what do you mean? Like if they need it, then to get it, or what?
No. I mean, obviously, if they need it, get it. But I mean, no. Do you think that would contribute to incontinence because of the trauma done to the pelvis?
Oh, definitely. I would say
Yeah.
any type of surgery in general is equivalent to, a major accident. Your body really
Yeah.
can't tell the difference. So it's going to respond accordingly. It's going to ignite all the fight or flight responses. So you're going to be in constant inflammation and thereby exacerbating kind of what's going to happen with your bladder in terms of, making the incontinence worse and increasing the stress on your body. Again, that's one of those physical changes. So, you can have stress incontinence due to the actual pelvic surgery. So when I say pelvic, I mean, hip or anything around the
Right.
area. So,
Yeah. So any damage or trauma or,
yeah.
anything, impact of any kind to
Yeah.
that area is going to possibly cause the inflammation and increase your risk of having those issues. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially if they put hardware in there,
Yeah.
so you have a foreign um, item inside of your body will respond accordingly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think this gives hope. I hope it gives hope to the girls out there who are kind of worried and suffering silently from this. You don't have to suffer silently any longer. There's solutions. You can fix it. I've had lots of clients fix it, and you will be stronger and better for it. So, yeah,
Very
check
cool.
out those exercises and let us know how you do with that. Shoot us an email and keep in touch about it.
Alrighty. Well, now it's time for our interesting
And possibly disgusting.
fact about the human body. So, speaking about making muscles stronger, did you know, Kim, that the strongest muscle in the body based on its weight is the masseter or jaw muscle?
Ooh, no, really?
Yeah, yeah. So, unfortunately, in comparison to like animals in the wild, we're pretty weak. But the average human can generate about 162 pounds per square inch,
Okay.
which I think is a lot. I mean, enough to like bite a finger off if you had to.
Ew.
I'm just saying. Um, while the Nile crocodile leads the pack with a whopping 5,000 psi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So couple hundred times what we can do. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely don't get bit by them.
Yeah. And I guess stay out of what the only thing I can come up with why you would need to bite your finger off is like if you were in the drug cartel or something.
Well, don't bite your own finger. Bite somebody else's finger off.
No, I mean if they were making you bite your finger off or I don't
Okay.
know.
Or
Yeah, I think I
okay.
saw that in a movie.
If you were handcuffed, you're supposed to dislocate your thumb, not bite your fingers off.
Ew. I don't know if I could dislocate my thumb either. I guess I could do anything if I had to
Well,
escape.
we'll work on it.
No, I'm good. I'm good. They don't want me. I'm too old. I'm too much trouble at this point. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you guys listening and watching us.
Go to our website, getfitwithkim.com/podcast. Check out all the other episodes that we have too.
Absolutely.
All right. See y'all later.
All right. Until next time,
Stay strong.
live well. Bye.
Bye. We hope you enjoyed our time together today. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on our most current episodes.
If you have something that leaves you asking, what the health? We would love to hear from you. Go to getfitwithkimtoday.com/podcast to connect with us and submit your comments or questions.
Be sure to get your free smoothie recipes ebook on our site as well.
Until next time,
Stay strong.
and live well.